kind of a code level of forums. So I'm going to tell like how it is going to configure altogether and end-to-end points like the user story and issues and feature can be created automated. That is the main motive today. And simple functions, Python function having the name called generate the multiple user story, having the prompt. Okay, this is the system instructions, like you're going to prompt in this way saying that okay, you are a product owner writing an agile user story for you. For each story, use that format, kind of title, description, assignee, and story points and iteration. Because I insert the prompt, okay, this is the format I'm going to give to you. You have to follow this format and then create an issues or maybe feature, epic, user story, whatever. Okay, repeat this format for each story because I'm going to give that multiple user story, multiple epics, and multiple issues. Okay, in a single stretch of text. So that is this is very main because it's going to be repeat the format for you for your loop. Okay, and the response is very basic, simple. OpenAI chat completion crate using the row, assigning the roles, and then content of the prompt. Okay, this nothing but your model reference where you have where you have already configured in the above line number 10 GPT-4o. Can you come down and then this is the split blocks. It's nothing but like it is checking if the title is present on your prompt and then look for the title and replace the exact input where you have given in the title, and the description is present and then replace that exact input value of description, assignee, and then story points, right? So it's a very basic level which I've created for the MVP model. So that's why I like hard coded the title and the descriptions and assignee here. But in future, if you want this has been like predicted way, or maybe like text prediction analysis way, that can also possible. You can do it, but that's need more code and then development things involved. Okay. But the story points, yeah, you can see, right? I'm going to given the story points too, and then iteration path as well, because it should not be created anywhere in your backlogs, right? So I given a specific iteration path to create these issues, epic, feature, and the stories. Okay, so these are very simple blocks of line you can easily understand. And coming back to here, this is very crucial part. Like you have to make sure what are all the because this is the function where you have create the user story in Azure. So you have to provide the parameter what you have provided over the title, description, and effort and story points. The default effort which I've given here and the story points here. Assign is none so far, and iteration path is none also, which I have set it as a default. And the URL you have to give the basic of https dev.azure.com followed by your Azure organization and followed by your Azure project name, and then this is the create. This is the post API, and the get API is slight differ. So don't confuse on the get and post API. So this is the post API, so that you can figure out the API is followed by WIT. API is followed by WIT is nothing but your post API, and work items and then issues, right? The dollar symbol issues is mentioning your work item types. Okay, work item is nothing but that item menu where you have been created where you're going to create it your work types, right? So followed by work item, you have to given what type of the work item you're going to be created. So I am going to create an issue today, so that's why I'm going to I'm given like issues here. And this can also automated like how you as your organization and project set it up. The work types also like work item type also you can set it up as a dynamic way. But as of now, I'm given the hard coded way. And then API version you have to. And coming down, content type is required. What type of the content you're going to be communicated, and then authorization is very basic authorization with your Azure pad key, because the base 64 conversion with your pad key. Okay, pad key is nothing but is your personal access token. Okay, and the list of payload which I've added here, title, descriptions, and then effort and story points, which I have already put it as a parameter of my create user story in Azure function. And coming here, like I'm checking the assignee is there. If it is assignee, I'm going to assign the value for it. If it is iteration path is there, and then I'm going to value for the iteration path for these two keys. Okay, And then I'm hitting the requesters using the library of requests in post, and like passing the URL is one of the parameter, and then payload, and then followed by the headers. Okay, and I'm looking for the response, whether if it is 200 or 201. I'm just capturing the positive response and then print the data like this. And then if it is an else part, like kind of if it is a negative scenario, I'm just printing the error code, whatever the error code which is returning from there, and then what is the error text is response. Okay, these are the two functions is going to be act like our logic performance for us, and this is the very main function. And you can see the this is the prompt is going to be print in your console, and then you're looping the line of input because you're going to give the multiple lines. I'm not going to give one issues. I'm going to give four issues and five issues in a time in a single stretch, so that I'm looping it, and then I'm appending all those lines, and then give providing to the prompt and join all the lines, and calling my generate multiple user stories with that prompt, and then prompt is entering into multiple user stories and then providing the stories for you, and followed by I'm going to create the user story in Azure with this all kind of parameter configurations. Okay, so how many prompt is applicable, and those are all those stories or maybe those issues is going to be created. That's why it's in loop now. That's it. It's very pretty simple. I'm going to run this code and see how it works. Before that, I'm going to show the template. Okay, this is the format template. See that title, description, assignee, story points, narration path. Title, I'm going to change it because I have already created test. I'm going to change the MVP, MVP test, something like this. Okay, MVP test like this. Okay, so this is my email ID because it's required if you are using any AD or maybe Active Directory ID. Use that Active Directory ID to figure out your identification very easily, because if you're not provide a proper ID to assignee field, so definitely it won't create. It'll throw an error, assignee is not a valid value. So for me, it's like identification is gmail.com now because I'm using personal account. So story points is 5, and then iteration path is I'm going to give my test print. Okay, so just check it out. I'm going to create two more things here: MEP test 2, MEP test 3. Okay, same thing, 3 and 2. Okay, 3-point story and then 8-point story. Okay, so 835, these are the basic rules in Agile, so I'm going to create in that way. Okay, let's see. uh, I'm going to run this code first. Okay, I'm running in the debugging mode so that I can capture if anything goes wrong. Okay, here you can see, right, this is the main method where you can print prompting. It is asking to you enter this field, copy it, and you can see, right, press enter twice to submit. Don't forget, like, do that, because I'm going to paste in one line and pressed enter twice. You guys are able to see, right? Test already created, MEP test created, and MEP test 2 created, and MEP test 3 also created with an ID 567. Now I'm going back to my board, refreshing the work item here. See, it's pretty simple. MVP test, MVP test 2, and MVP test 3. Let's see the description title is get added or not. Cool. Title is added, description is added, and same way you can also add your acceptance criteria, descriptions, and you can also create epic feature, user stories, backlogs, whatever you want. Okay, it's not like it's just a very simple prototype which I'm going to show you today, because I don't have much time to explain all the stuff, because the same kind of approaches is applicable for the other things. So if you come back here, just seeing that work items, MEP test 3 is assigned to, right, Reason is see that area is coming from our iteration is coming from our okay, assigned is also coming from our right. So it's very pretty simple way you can create your user stories, epics, and feature in a single form of text, and you have to all you have to like create this formatted or maybe whatever the format you would like to go for it and feed the format to your LLM prompt in this way, the line of code which I'm going to show here, right? In this way, and then like train your maybe like prompt in that way what you want to like create it, and so that your LLM is get a like understand what you really wants to create it, right? So that way, and then a slight manipulation of the code is required to check on the title description, because before assigning any value to your key, so this kind of validation is required. So I just validate it after splitting the lines. So do that. So it's a pretty simple code, you can easily learn and do that, and then followed by hit your API, and then get the proper responses coming for you. That's it today. uh, Probably I'll push this code in my GitHub and then share you guys see, and I'll try to post more videos. Thank you. Thanks everyone.